Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 183. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this beautiful February 20th, right? 21st? 21st, 2019. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock. With me, as always, my co-host, Brandon Full. Say hello, Brandon.
Hello, Remington.
That's who I am.
And hello, everybody else listening.
Yeah. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
We always get a late start because I'm always fucking around with something, but we got a little bit later start than even I was wanting to.
Yes, we did.
So that was kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come forward, but I can't. I'm stuck in a hole.
I really don't want to watch you do that, but at the same time, I kind of do. You're just undulating in that chair. Oh, the face. No.
That's for the viewers.
Yeah. The listeners, you guys are lucky you're not seeing his face.
Okay.
Really took it out of you?
Yeah. I'm fat. I'm really fat.
You're less fat, though.
Yeah, only by 20 pounds now, though.
Still, 20 pounds is something.
I had lost 40 pounds, and I've put 20 on, and I haven't been able to shed it. Like, I walk around school, I would say half the day.
Yeah.
And I still haven't shed this extra 20 that I put back on.
Do you eat a lot?
Not really. I don't really eat that much. Sorry, I threw up in my mouth a little.
Yeah, you just burped really hard.
Yeah, it was not a good burp. It was not a productive burp. Okay, so the mic stand is out of your face now, which is nice.
So I'm free.
People get to see your visage. Look at that little scraggly beard.
I know, I need to shave. I want to shave fully.
Yeah.
And be clean shaven.
Yeah.
But I have a very weak chin. So my second chin will be more prevalent.
Just do what I do and keep just the goatee.
Yeah, but I don't want to do a goatee.
Well, then just do the mustache.
I don't want to be mustache guy.
Come on, do the mustache.
If I just do a mustache, I'm 100% mustache guy. And that doesn't help with double chin.
No, but everybody will be looking at the caterpillar on your lip.
Yeah, that's true.
If they won't be paying attention to the double chin.
When you just have a mustache, it boils down to when people are talking about you and they don't know who you are, they're just like, oh, mustache guy?
Oh, the guy with the mustache and glasses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to become mustache guy.
You've lost some weight, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, do you even know if your second chin is as prevalent as it once was?
I'm not sure, but probably.
So you don't even know.
I mean, I still have a ways to go. I'm still in the 200s.
Yeah, but I mean, you were more, and now you're less.
Yeah.
And a lot of that in males comes off of the neck.
That's true.
You get rid of the waddle.
See, you have a double chin, but it looks all right.
That's because I'm a fat guy.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody's like, well, the fucking double chin is the least of his worries. I'm more concerned with the diabetes. Jesus.
Yeah.
Look at the tits on him.
Double chin, double heart disease. Jesus Christ.
Somebody quit giving that man cheeseburgers.
I had for today what I've eaten.
Uh-huh.
I had a Nutri-Grain bar.
Uh-huh.
Then I went to JR's Donut Castle.
A taste fit for a king. That's
and
their
I got
slogan.
A hot dog with sauce and coleslaw and a dozen donuts for everybody at work.
Okay.
And then I ate 2 donuts.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm pretty good on calories for the day.
Yeah.
I'll go home and have a bowl of cereal for bed tonight, and I think that'll still put me in under what I'm trying to keep.
I will say that today, and maybe that's part of my problem, is that, well, we'll go back to that maybe, or not, I don't know. Today, I had to take something down to the post office for Ginger, and I stopped by Wendy's.
Mm.
And I got us both 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers, medium fry, and I got myself a large diet soda, and the dog a cheeseburger as well. And we both got Frosties.
Yeah, I
So,
saw a Frosty in your freezer earlier.
Definitely broke today.
Yeah.
For sure. But most of the time I have like my chicken and vegetables, or I have something that's not super high in calories, or I am not drinking as much water as I was.
Mm.
And I think that maybe that's part of the problem. And I'm drinking diet, which is that sugar replacement. So your body wants actual sugar. It doesn't want to be faked. It knows better. So while the diet is, no calories, my body is still like, eat sugar, fuck face. You need it. So I end up snacking on sweets a lot more because of that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I never used to be one who had a large sweet tooth. And now I'm like, look at that pie. Oh, there's a piece of cake over there. Oh, did you bring donuts? Oh, that's a chocolate bar. Oh, that's chocolate ganache. Oh, that's just a tub of peanut butter.
Oh.
I'm just going to eat that. It's delicious. Yeah, that doesn't help.
Do you ever dip your fingers into the peanut butter jar?
No, I get a spoon.
Okay.
There's more than just me living in the house.
Do you keep peanut butter? Is that one of those things you keep in your house?
Oh, yeah, we have peanut butter. Partially because we both like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
But also, it's easier for the dog to eat a pill. She gets a joint supplement every once in a while if she's limping a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps to kind of grease the old joints and make it a little more comfortable for her.
So you just coat the pill in peanut butter and give it to her?
Yeah, best way to do it. So yeah, what have you been up to this week?
I've been feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's good.
Been working on some D&D stuff.
Have you improved?
Improved?
Yeah, like from the week before where you were feeling a little worse?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, that's good.
They upped my medication.
Okay.
So I take my mood stabilizer for bipolar, and then I take an antipsychotic for reasons. I don't really know what exactly it's for.
For not being psychotic.
Yeah, apparently. What's that supposed to fucking mean? He's psychotic, get him out of here.
Hold on, let me just move my multi-tool across the room far enough away from you. Well, I would imagine that I guess maybe not.
It's to help with psychosis for bipolar.
Yeah.
Because if you get
the mood stabilizer, like you have the swings, right?
Yeah.
So you're either like manic high or manic low. Is that right? Is that
manic is high?
Manic is high, and what's low?
Depression.
Depression is low. Manic.
Yeah.
So you have the wild.
I know. I tend more towards depression.
Okay.
I'm bipolar 2, which means that I've had manic episodes in the past, but it's not a constant thing.
Gotcha.
Bipolar 1 is like you swing between them quite frequently.
Right.
So yeah, they up the antipsychotic, and I think it's been helping.
Yeah.
I feel better. I was fucked up for the first couple of days I took it, though.
Oh, yeah?
Because I take it at night, and one of the side effects is I get shaky hands, and you get something called akathisia, which is where you can't sit still. Like, you have to constantly move your legs.
Oh, okay.
So that's something...
It's like restless legs syndrome, only you've never had it before, so you don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, basically.
You're like, oh...
So that's something I've been dealing with a little bit.
They're going!
I don't have to shake my legs. It's hard to get comfortable. I have to shift a lot.
Okay. So it's not like you have to just keep moving your legs. See, I have a little bit of restless legs.
Yeah, you've had that for years.
Yeah. So I constantly will do this. So now everybody has something to watch. Watch my knee as we're streaming, and you'll see that my leg will start shaking.
They're already staring at your crotch. They
It's
might as
true.
well just move another couple inches down.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Look at that sweet, sweet knee.
It's a good knee. It's a fine knee.
I'm sure it is.
It's a strong knee.
These strong knees.
These strong knees.
So yeah, that's been my week pretty much.
That's cool. Have you been playing any new video games or anything like that? Or
No, I've played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts. I've kind of fallen back into the rhythm of Minecraft, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back to the old Minecraft well again.
Yeah.
Because it's something I can throw on and listen to podcasts while I play.
Uh-huh.
I'm really enjoying Kingdom Hearts. I've made it to the next world. I'm in the Kingdom of Corona, the Tangled world.
Okay.
But I can't listen to podcasts while I'm playing because there's so much audio going on that I find myself playing in short bursts of like half an hour.
I gotcha.
Before I go to something that I can actually listen. Because I have a pretty big backlog of podcasts I've been trying to get through.
Yeah.
So I need something to do with my hands while I listen. I can't just lay in bed and listen.
I hear a siren going off. Sorry.
Yeah. You know what drives me crazy?
What's that?
Whenever a siren goes off somewhere and a person goes, uh-oh, they found me. I hate that. It's such a stupid old joke.
Yeah, I feel you. I understand what you mean. I hate old jokes sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
Just that immediate knee-jerk response of, that's something I've heard a million billion times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so proud of it too when they say it.
Oh,
they found me.
They found me. Bet you've never heard that one before.
Motherfucker, I've run from the cops before.
I have hidden from them. If they're after anybody, it ain't you.
You got to classically hit that vape.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would hit the cigarette.
Yeah.
But I don't have a cigarette, so.
I have a vape with me too now, so.
You do?
We can be vape buddies on stream.
So do you think that, are you trying to get back off of cigarettes? Or are you just supplementing?
Basically supplementing.
Yeah.
The goal was to get off cigarettes, and I was using the vape, and then I realized, like, health-wise, I want to quit smoking cigarettes, and, like, exercise-wise, because it's going to start to get warmer, so I can move around more. I don't want to have that, like, awful feeling in my lungs of trying to walk around.
Yeah.
But goddamn, do I love smoking cigarettes.
Right.
That's the hardest part. At night, like, when I'm on my computer, I'll take my computer out to the living room, the laptop, and I'll just sit cross-legged on the floor, and I'll just chain smoke.
Yeah, yeah. It was really tough to keep from doing that when I quit cigarettes.
Yeah.
So now I will still occasionally have a cigarette, but it's very few and far between, especially considering the fact that you're not supposed to smoke on campus. In fact, I went outside yesterday just so I could hit my vape a couple of times before I headed to my next class, and they don't even want you smoking outside.
Like your vape?
Yeah. And I was like, okay. Because, state law in West Virginia is you have to be 10 feet away from an entrance.
Yeah.
But every door has a sign that says no tobacco on campus.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool, I get that. And I guess, technically speaking, any land that's theirs is the campus. People will smoke in their cars. So I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, well, I'm, 30 feet away from this door and 40 feet away from this door, so I'm going to hit the vape a couple of times. Yeah. And then security was like, can you just please not hit the vape on campus, please?
Seriously? Security said something to you?
Yeah, yeah. Followed me in, apparently. I wasn't even paying any attention. Because, again, I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So now if I want to hit my vape, I guess I have to go to the car or just avoid security.
Yeah. Uh-oh, they found you.
Uh-oh, they found me.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Especially because, while vaping is not good for you, number one, it does smell better than a cigarette.
Mm.
Even if you don't like the smell of a vape, it's still 10 times better than the smell of a cigarette.
Yeah, I had a cigarette before we started recording, and I can smell it on myself.
Right. 2, I don't leave any litter with a vape.
Mm-hmm.
It dissipates pretty quickly, especially if you're out in a wind blowing. It's not like I'm hotboxing the gym or anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it goes up and it gets dissipated and whatever. No big deal. So, and I'm not going to hit it while there are children around. I mean, not everybody's that considerate, but
yeah.
There was literally nobody around. I didn't even know the security was watching because I didn't see them.
They're always watching.
Apparently, yeah. So, yeah, there was literally nobody around. So I was like, there's nobody out here, so I'm just going to pop my vape a couple times. Is no.
Yeah.
Is muy malo.
That seems overkill.
Yeah, a little bit. But whatever. It's their place.
Yeah. You got to abide by the rules.
Yep. So yeah, my week has just been filled with, I had to bust out another 4-page paper that I didn't realize was due.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's not a big deal, though, because it was for English class, and he basically, any of our papers that we have to write, we can turn in as many copies as we want. We can correct and then turn it in again to get a higher grade.
Oh, okay.
So, not a huge deal. He's like, I just want you guys to write. He was like, I want you to have the experience of writing, and then I want you to have the experience of editing that writing and learning from that. So, turn it in as many times until you get the grade that you want. which is nice.
Yeah.
And he's not super hard and fast about when it's due because of that.
Okay.
So we have to do peer reviews on these bigger papers. But as long as I find somebody to do it, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
So I finished it up. It took me all day. It was a cause and effect paper. And originally I had started off with a cause and solution. And I realized as I was writing the paper, oh, wait, what I have planned is more of a cause and solution, not a cause and effect. So what I was talking about was dirty water in countries that don't have, septic systems or plumbing or even wells that are, controlled by, or, groundwater wells, that sort of thing. Like skimming water off of the river to feed to your families.
Yeah.
That's inherently dangerous. So dirty water kills more children than malaria and HIV/AIDS combined.
Wow.
Yeah, in a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So originally I got the idea because YouTuber Mark Rober had just put out a video on Procter & Gamble had created almost accidentally. They were trying to find crystals that would clean the gray water after you wash your clothes.
So you could reuse that water?
So there was less crap going out into less dirt and stuff going out into the plumbing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whatever. They didn't really give a reason why they were trying to create it. It was just to clean the water that comes out when you're done washing your clothes. So one of the scientists who was working on this realized that take that a step further and we can actually clean water to where it's drinkable. So there's these little packets that you can get that have 3 stages that will cause all of the dirt to clump up and coagulate. And then a polymer will kind of wrap around it and make it to where it's dense enough to fall to the bottom. So all of that stuff will fall to the bottom. And then chlorine activates and kills 99.9% of all of the harmful bacteria in it.
Wow.
So you can pour this into 10 liters, the whole packet into 10 liters, and in about 30 minutes you will have clean, drinkable water.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And it is too. It's incredible to see. In fact, hold on.
See, the cynic in me immediately wonders how much they're going to charge for it.
Okay, so on the screen for the viewers at home, and I'll actually link to this site in our show notes, assuming that I remember. Editing rem, put a marker here so you can remember to put a damn thing there. So here you can see that they have just a bucket of dirty water, and I'll play the GIF. And they pour the packet in, and you stir it, and then it just starts to coagulate and just sinks to the bottom. And then you strain it to capture the clean water.
That is amazing.
And if you want to see it in action, you can actually go to Mark Rober's channel. He goes to a drainage source that's like running under a highway. It's just like a little drainage ditch that's running under a highway.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a dead muskrat in there. And he has like 3 kids that come with him, and they collect this dirty water and then pour some into containers and shake it up, and you can watch it just pull it all down.
Oh, wow.
And then he drinks some. Yeah, it's incredible. It's really cool. So going back to the paper, I was going to write cause, dirty water killing children and people in underdeveloped countries.
And then solution was this.
Solution was that.
So what'd you end up writing about?
So I just did the same thing, only I just wrote about the effects of dirty water.
Oh, okay.
So I wrote the cause, the dirty water was the cause, the effect was it kills a bunch of people every year. So that was the cause and the effect of it. Now I did work that into the paper just because I needed more to pad it out.
Yeah.
But it was a little tough to squeeze 4 pages out of it, especially when it was nice to learn about something new, but at the same time, I wasn't so invested in it that I could write 4 pages about it. So I really had to find things to kind of pad stuff out. And it takes me a long time because as I'm researching, I have a habit of, as I'm researching, I was told, try to find the earliest source that you can. So as I'm reading, if I read something but it's sourced, I go to that source instead.
Yeah.
To pull that quote or to, reference it in whatever fashion. Which leads me to reading basically that entire other article, that new source, to see if there's anything that I can pull from it. So depending on how many sources are involved throughout these different papers, I might end up reading 6, 7, 8 articles.
You're going through like a Rolodex of articles.
Exactly. So I guess I have to tell myself at a point when to stop. But at the same time, the more that I read, the more fodder I had to fill 4 pages.
Yeah.
So, and it's double space. So technically it's more like 3.25 pages. Other than that, haven't really done much. Just continuing that schooling.
Doing the college thing.
Doing the collage.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I haven't really even been playing any video games, which is a big bummer. I still haven't figured out the timing on that. I think Thursday evenings is really the day that I should also stream.
Like after we record?
Yeah. Like after we record and we do dinner and that. All of that. So
yeah.
When Ginger goes to bed, really. So like 11 o'clock. Which kind of sucks because, some of the other guys are playing, like, they get off work, they dick around for a couple hours, and then they stream from like 8 to midnight. Steve, that's usually what Steve does, 7 or 8 to midnight. And I would like to continue playing Sea of Thieves with them. That's what I have mostly been doing when I stream or when I am not streaming.
Is playing Sea of Thieves?
Playing Sea of Thieves, yeah. So, but I also have like 2 other idea journals, which are just 2-page guys that I have to catch up on. The big time sink really seems to be English as far as, school stuff goes. I mean, I could spend more time studying my other stuff. History, I've got chapter summaries that I need to write, but I'm going to this last 4 chapters that we went over, I waited until the end to write chapter summaries, which kind of sucked. So this time I'm going to be a little more on top of it and go through like once a week and write a chapter summary because it's only 4 chapters.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and focus in on that. So that means I'll need to write a chapter this week. Chapter summary for this first chapter. But yeah, it's not too hard. It has to be a page and it's double spaced. He doesn't really care how you write it. He just wants you to read the chapter and wants a proof of it.
Yeah.
So not a big deal.
Well, it sounds like things are going well for you.
Yeah, they're all right. I'm pretty pleased with my performance so far.
Yeah.
Still really liking microeconomics. That's the one that I was kind of more worried about. Just because depending on the teacher, it can be kind of math heavy. And I've experienced a little bit of that, but it's nothing that I can't just plug into my calculator.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of knowing how to plug it into your calculator to get it to work.
Do you have to have a special calculator?
Nope, I have a scientific calculator on my phone.
I guess it kind of kills the need for the TI-83s.
Yeah.
And all of those.
Yeah, when you can do it on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And after a fashion, anyway, because you have the graphing capabilities on a TI-83.
Yeah.
But I think you can even, if you're savvy enough, I think you can get a TI-83 emulator on your phone.
Oh, probably.
So there you go. Now you don't need a TI-83. And they haven't changed in price.
No, they're still fucking expensive.
They're still like $80 for one of those TI-83 calculators.
Yeah.
And I think they were $80 when we were in school.
Because they know people need them.
Yeah. Whatever. And I don't think that they've updated it any either. Like the TI-83 Plus is the point where they were like, yep, that's good enough. At least for school kids.
Yeah, they just wash their hands of it. And they're like, well.
Texas Instruments, you done well. So let's get into some stories, Brandon.
Alrighty. You want me to go first?
Of course I do. That's how this works, Brandon. Have you ever been on a podcast with me before?
No. I have so many stories, I don't know which one I want to lead with.
Ooh.
Are you familiar with Howard the Duck?
Howard the Duck. Yeah.
You're familiar with the song anyway.
I am. And the original movie, yes.
I liked that movie.
I did too. It was weird, and it was kind of scary when I was younger.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I enjoyed it as well. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good movie by any stretch.
No.
But it's an enjoyable movie.
Yes. Yeah, it's a strong B.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Plus the infamous duck boobs that you see.
Yeah. Gotta love them duck boobies.
God, you gotta love them.
Ooh, I was just playing along, but okay.
Yeah, I was playing along too.
Yeah,
It was just a joke.
Found out something really interesting about Brandon today.
I want to fuck ducks.
Dear diary.
Today was a good day.
Brandon admitted that he wants to bang ducks.
LOL, your pal always.
Heart, smiley face, kisses, XOXO forever. With a 4. Forever.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Smile, always. Rem.
Love Rem. Rem, under that, scratch it out. Love Rem. With a U. Yeah.
Kevin Smith has been given the Howard the Duck property.
Oh. If there's anybody who will probably take it in a really interesting direction, it'll probably be Kevin.
This is for Hulu.
Okay.
He also is working with Aqua Teen Hunger Force co-creator Dave Willis.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
So it's Kevin
really
Smith and Dave Willis.
I really liked Aqua Teen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that that's going to take this in a very interesting and weird direction.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be cool, though. I mean, honestly, I don't know how much Willis knows about the property. I imagine Smith will do his due diligence and read up on everything Howard the Duck that he can get. Because I feel like for all of the crap that I kind of like to give Smith about, just the copious amounts of weed that he smokes.
Yeah.
He does a really good job in his research, I feel like. So, which really most writers have to. Anybody who writes does a lot of research most of the time.
Oh, and he came out and he said that he's already offered Leah Thompson a role, who was the love interest in the original Howard the Duck movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he offered her a role as...
So is he trying to keep it in that universe?
I don't know. It hasn't really come out yet. He said as an unyet announced role.
Huh.
So he could be keeping it in the universe, or he could be just wanting to bring her back to do a voice for nostalgia reasons.
Yeah, do a little fan service or whatever from the original. Okay.
Marvel actually is producing 4 TV shows with Hulu.
Okay.
4 cartoons. They're doing a Modok series, is being created by Patton Oswalt and Jordan Bloom.
Modok.
Centered around the egomaniacal villain as he struggles to keep control of his evil organization and demanding family.
I feel like that latter part was Patton Oswalt's pitch.
Yeah. And there's a demanding family.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're also doing a cartoon called Hit Monkey, being written and produced by Josh Gordon and Will Speck. And a Tigra and Dazzler show is on the way from Eric Rivinoja and Chelsea Handler.
I don't know if I know what was the second one?
Hit Monkey. Or Modok was the second one.
Oh, Modok.
And then Hit Monkey.
Yeah.
I have no idea about Hit Monkey.
Yeah, I've never heard
Tigra and Dazzler I'm familiar with.
I've never heard of Tigra.
Tigra is like a tiger lady.
I guess.
And Dazzler is like a 1970s...
The Dazzler.
Yeah, lady.
Yeah.
The Dazzler.
Yeah.
A 1970s like disco party lady.
Okay.
Is Dazzler.
Will it be period?
It's got 2 women in it, isn't it?
Wow!
What?
Talking about what's going to be in the 70s.
Oh, that I don't know. Chelsea. Oh man, Chelsea Handler's working on it. I like Chelsea Handler. She's kind of hated amongst people.
Yeah.
For being sort of loudmouthy, I guess.
Yeah.
But I enjoy Chelsea Handler.
I have enjoyed Chelsea Handler at times. I wouldn't say that I frequent any of her other stuff, but her stand-up was really enjoyable. I'm going to piggyback off of your story, though.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is something that you mentioned that you had news on, but I'm going to steal it from you.
You son of a bitch.
Because I don't play by nobody's rules.
Oh, shit. You're a loose cannon. You're a regular bearded bear.
Yeah, I am. So Netflix has canceled Jessica Jones and The Punisher.
Mm.
Eminem chimed in on this.
Eminem, the rapper Eminem?
Yes.
Marshall Mathers?
Marshall Mathers chimed in and basically said, let me see if I have the tweet here. Yep, there we go. Hold on. So he took to Twitter and said, "Dear Netflix, regarding your cancellation of The Punisher, you are blowing it. Sincerely, Marshall." So that's all he said. Of course, they've already canceled all of the other Marvel shows.
Everything else has been canceled.
Now, what I did find is, so this comes from Geek Tyrant, new reasons revealed on why Netflix canceled all of Marvel's shows. And they're actually referencing another place as well, but I'll go ahead and read this one. Earlier this week, Netflix announced that they had canceled the last of the Marvel shows with Jessica Jones and the Punisher. I'm sure that there are a lot of reasons that Netflix and Marvel cut ties, from ratings dropping to Disney Plus launching, but there are other reasons that have been revealed thanks to THR, which would be the Hollywood Reporter. According to the report, Netflix didn't actually have any kind of ownership stake in any of the shows that Marvel was producing for them. Instead, the deal they made with Marvel had them paying out a steep licensing fee for each season of the shows. Yeah, that's not really the best kind of deal to roll with, so it totally makes sense that they would want to pull out. I can imagine that Disney also kept raising those licensing fees over time. With those new details being revealed, it completely makes sense that they would want to end that relationship, especially with viewership dropping. It just wasn't worth it to them. I imagine they must have made a similar deal with Hulu on their new slate of series.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plural of series.
Series?
Yes.
Okay.
Series.
I 100% believe you.
For those of you who don't know, it's a shame that this is how things ended up playing out. But at the same time, there's going to be plenty of Marvel TV goodness coming out in the future with Hulu and Disney Plus. And who knows, maybe one day we will see these shows make a comeback. So I still don't know if they'll bring back any of these shows or if they'll, keep these actors in kind of take a little vacation while we figure all this shit out. Here's some money,
Yeah.
That would be a sweet deal for some of the actors, I'm sure.
I didn't really watch the shows.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Jessica Jones. I watched a little bit of Luke Cage. I didn't watch Iron Fist or The Defenders.
Yeah.
I watched the first season of Daredevil. All of those shows, really, their second seasons critically didn't seem to live up to their first seasons.
Yeah.
So that might make sense with dwindling viewership.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing about these streaming services is that once you have binge watched everything, there's no reason to binge watch anymore.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like if you binge watch a full season of something, then you have to wait for that next season to come out, and you may just lose interest. That's the one thing that I do like about still watching television, watching scheduled releases of shows, is that I wait weekly to watch, say, MacGyver.
Mm-hmm.
And, I spend X amount of weeks watching 12, 15 episodes of MacGyver, and then we get like a 2-month break or a 3-month break, and then we get more MacGyver.
Yeah.
So it's a little more fresh in my mind. If I binge watch the first season of MacGyver in a day or two, and the second season isn't slated to come out until next year, well, I'm going to forget that MacGyver existed.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's a little weird.
I don't know. Your mindset changes a lot when you're binge watching stuff, when you have stuff to watch like that. Netflix does a really good job of recapping shows for you.
Yeah.
Whenever a new season comes out, you can watch the last episode. It prompts you, or you can watch a recap.
Yeah.
Where they'll do here's an overview of what happened in the last season.
Yeah.
So is it Me Time Story?
Yep, it's You Time Story.
So Punisher and Jessica Jones were canceled by Netflix. Oh, wait. You son of a bitch.
I've stolen it.
Ben Affleck is no longer Batman.
Okay.
He will no longer be Batman in any of the movies.
Forever.
He's done.
He's like, fuck you guys. I'm done.
I can't even ask you your opinion of him because you haven't seen any of the movies.
It's true. But I like Ben Affleck. So I can say that I probably would have enjoyed him.
So Zack Snyder, the director, gave his thoughts on Ben Affleck leaving as Batman.
Okay.
And these are his thoughts.
Okay.
There was a time above, a time before. There were perfect things, diamond absolutes. But things fall, things on earth. And what falls is fallen. In the dream, it took me to the light. A beautiful lie, best Batman ever. Thank you, my friend, for blessing me with that fucking glorious chin and an amazing heart.
That's really what it says?
Yes.
Wow. That's dumb.
Zack Snyder's a weird guy.
He is. He is a weird dude.
Yeah, and the reason I read it so slow is it was all ellipses.
Yeah.
In the falling, ... The diamonds, ... Like that.
That's dumb. So following up on DC news, this is from Cosmic Book News. This is actual comic book news.
Okay.
So we haven't actually done that in a long time. I said actually a lot there.
Comic book actual news.
Actual comic, actual book news. Actually.
I love it.
As DC Comics continued to take a beating in the direct market, it is learned the company behind Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the Justice League will be cutting their line. While rumors had it that DC would be cutting their line by more than half, i.e. the new 22, at Comics Pro Retailer Summit being held in Charlotte, North Carolina, DC comic co-publisher Dan Didio confirmed that they would be cutting their publishing numbers back by a further 10 to 15%. As he said, that's what DC believes the market can bear. DC recently shipped 87 comics for the month of January, so the reduction would see around 74 to 78 comics produced, or potentially less, as DC only put out 52 in December. Didio went on to explain that he thinks too many comics overall are being distributed to the comic book stores right now, which is diluting the sales for individual titles across the board. Bleeding Cool notes that while Didio didn't specifically mention it, it was implied Marvel is to blame. A quick check of the numbers reveals Marvel put out 102 comics in January with 90 in December.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of titles.
Yeah, it is.
Didio further went on to acknowledge there is unrest within the comic book industry right now, and he asks that retailers not share their complaints with their customers, but to keep it to themselves to show a higher standard, which is a little presumptuous on Didio's part.
Yeah.
If I own a comic book store, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say
exactly
about the comic books that I'm trying to sell. You know, that's your first line of defense. You need to know what the market... The numbers are important, but you also need to know what the customer wants. And you find that out by talking to the comic book shop owners.
Yeah, because you are there because of them.
Yeah.
You need to stay within their good graces.
Yeah. The news of DC cutting their line follows the recent layoffs affecting 3% of its workforce getting laid off and 10% of the Warner Brothers Consumer Products division getting let go. Former DC Comics Green Lantern artist and 26-year veteran of the industry Ethan Van Sciver, or Sciver, Sciver, recently pointed out the problems surrounding DC, Marvel, and the comic book industry, which he says is in a state of collapse. So there's more to that, but I just wanted to get what your thoughts are on them pulling back like this. I know that we don't really read comics anymore, but you still go to shops.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's too many titles to choose from? Because I mean, I imagine that when you go to a shop, if you're not really doing anything, you're kind of thumbing through them at least.
Yeah. Going to a shop as somebody who doesn't really read comics anymore, it is very overwhelming.
Yeah.
It is overwhelming to see the amount of titles, and I might want to jump into something, and this is why they relaunch shit all the time with #1 issues.
Yeah.
Because I'll see a comic and be like, oh, Moon Knight. I've always wanted to get into Moon Knight. Oh, Moon Knight issue 34. It's in the middle of an arc. I'm not going to pick that up. I'll have no idea what's going on.
Right.
And they might have issue 33, but issue 32 was sold out, but they still have 31.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot to get into.
It is. I agree. And that's the other thing is, you know, these comic book stores like we've talked about with Every Time, Marietta.
Asylum?
Yeah.
Jordan?
God. Every time I want to remember Jordan's name, I brain fart.
I got distracted and I had no idea what you were asking me, so I was like, what is this?
Every time we have discussed whether, you know, on or off the mic with Jordan, who owns a comic book shop, or I think we've both discussed with him how that process works when you order comics, because you have to know your market. You have to just take a leap of faith and guess how many of a title you're going to sell.
Yeah.
And how many other titles you're going to carry. And you have to hit the big ones like, you know, Captain America or Batman or Superman or Deadpool, you know, because you kind of have to hit the ones that have the big moneymaker names.
Yeah.
And those moneymaker names kind of come in and out of fashion, especially as they continue to release these movies. So now you have these arcs that'll tie into the movies sometimes, or people will just gain interest in a character that they didn't really know much about before. Ant-Man, prime example. Captain Marvel, another example. And from a shop owner's perspective, there's a lot of guesswork, and you only have so much capital to work with to get this stuff in.
Yeah.
Once you get it in, if you don't sell that stuff out, they're going to sit in a bin forever. But it's not like you're going to keep 1 or 2 episodes of everything just so somebody can catch up to issue 34, you know?
Yeah.
So you're not going to keep 33 or 1 through 33 just so the one person who comes in and says, hey, you know, I want to read this Moon Man comic, but it's in story arc issue 34. So
yeah.
I don't remember what the name was that you called.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Okay.
Although I like that you called him Moon Man like a grandpa.
That Moon Man character that you were talking about?
I got you this shirt because I know you like Moon Man.
I know you like Moon Man. It's just a picture of Pluto winking. Yeah. That's not even the moon, Grandpa. What? It's a planetary body. It's out there. Moon. It's almost the same.
And I don't fault comic shops for that.
No.
Like you said, there's only so much that they can do.
Yeah. Because they're all, you know, or most of them are all privately owned. So, and even the ones that aren't privately, you know, if they're corporately owned, they've got Books A Million, for instance. Mm-hmm. You know, they have some comics, but they have far less selection than a comic book store would. And they have other things that kind of deal with the overhead of that.
Yeah.
So it's a weird business to be in, and it feels like there's a lot of risk involved.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a hard business to make money.
Yeah, for sure.
I would still love to own a comic book shop, though.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that would be the dream, really.
Yeah, for sure. You should just hound Jordan until he
lets me own it.
Lets you, well, either that or lets you just work there with him.
Hey, Jordan, what are you doing now?
Jordan, I mean, like, you have to pay me because it's the law, but Jordan.
Jordan, what do you think about my voice?
That was my story. You're up.
I'm up.
You're up.
This is some follow-up news.
Okay.
Where we talked about Alfonso Ribeiro suing Epic Games for the Carlton Dance.
Yes.
He was rebuked for his attempt to copyright the Carlton before suing game companies.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
He was rebuked from copywriting the dance. He was attempting to copyright the dance.
Right.
While also suing Epic Games.
Okay.
So when the copyright went through, now his lawsuit has more leg to stand on because he can say, look, my dance is copyrighted.
Yeah.
You're using it.
Yeah.
The Copyright Office denied his claims.
So they did not copyright it.
Correct.
Okay.
For 2 of the dances, a registration supervisor said on January 22nd that, quote, the combination of these 3 dance steps is a simple routine that is not registrable as a choreographic work.
Nice.
So he was rebuked.
So really that means that the
floss will be the same thing.
The floss will be the same thing because there's not enough moves to call it a choreographed dance.
Yeah. So this is coming out in...
So are they basically saying that it has to have 3 moves or better? Or over 3 moves?
They just say these 3 dance moves. I don't know if they're saying that you need to have more dance moves involved for it to actually be considered a routine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Interesting.
So yeah, it looks like he's going to lose that.
Well, sorry, man.
Yeah.
We discussed it pretty well, I think, a few episodes back, so... Actually, I'm going to follow up with copyright news on my own.
Oh, shit. Well, look at you.
I can't remember if we actually talked about it. I know I had brought it up either in something that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember if we actually talked about it on. European governments approved the controversial new copyright law. So...
I don't remember you mentioning this.
Okay. The controversial overhaul of Europe's copyright laws overcame a key hurdle on Wednesday as a majority of European governments signaled support for the deal. Really, this I think the conversation was actually happening in like the Lurk Squad group, where we were talking about using copyrighted music on our streams. Because there are lots and lots of streamers who do that. And Twitch, on the video on demand side, if it's copywritten music, they just take out the audio.
Yeah.
But the facts still remain that if you are playing copywritten music, that you can't broadcast it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not allowed to do that, technically speaking.
On Twitch?
Well, anywhere. You're not allowed to broadcast music that you haven't paid the publisher to utilize, to broadcast. Like, that is the law.
Yeah.
So that's why whenever we do stuff, I only choose music that is copyright free or royalty free that I have actually paid to use. Which the ending theme, the machinima one, is one that I actually paid to use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
was it a one-time fee?
Yeah, it was just a one-time fee. I don't remember how much it was. It wasn't that much, but I have the right to use it as many times as I want. So I think we were, like I said, going back, I think we were talking about it privately in like either a couple of conversations about copyright music. I don't remember who it was with. It was a little while ago, 4 or 5 weeks now. But this is interesting because if I remember correctly, they were talking about making it harder to broadcast that stuff. So really, we might actually start to see, if you want your stream to be seen in Europe, you're going to have to be not doing the copywritten music. They might start cracking down harder on that. So, controversial overhaul of Europe's copyright laws overcame a key hurdle on Wednesday as a majority of European governments signaled support of the deal. That sets the stage for a pivotal vote by the European Parliament that's expected to occur in March or April. Supporters of the legislation portray it as a benign overhaul of copyright that will strengthen anti-piracy efforts. Opponents, on the other hand, warn that its most controversial provision, known as Article 13, could force internet platforms to adopt draconian filtering technologies. The cost to develop filtering technology could be particularly burdensome for smaller companies, critics say. Online service providers have struggled to balance free speech and piracy for close to 2 decades. Faced with this difficult trade-off, the authors of Article 13 have taken a rainbows and unicorns approach, promising stricter copyright enforcement, no wrongful takedowns of legitimate content, and minimal burdens on smaller technology platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know how this European Parliament works. I don't know if they are as in pocket to companies as, say, some of the United States is.
Yeah, they are, I'm sure.
So, I mean, well, it's easy to say that, though.
It is, and I will.
But you have to also look at it, this is a conglomeration of different countries.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that every single last one of them is in the pocket of a music industry, I think that's a little far-fetched.
Yeah, I disagree.
Right. This is where the dueling part comes in, the dueling ogres.
I don't think I've gone far enough.
I think that it's the cynic versus the optimist on this one, because the cynic in you says everybody is in everybody's pocket all the time, and I genuinely want to believe that that is not the case.
Yeah, everybody's controlled by money.
Yeah, I'm not.
Everybody who is in power and makes powerful decisions is influenced and controlled by money.
You're saying I'm not in power? I will shut this stream down right now, motherfucker, unless you give me $100. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to be the guy who thinks that everybody's in everybody else's pocket, and especially considering how many countries are in this European Parliament.
Yeah.
This is passing for all of these other countries. So I want to believe that they'll look out for a little guy. Now, that does not include Twitch, because Twitch has Amazon money.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as draconian institution of rules and filters, really I imagine that they're already working on it. It is harder to filter live content, but yeah, I mean, all you have to do really is just impose a server-side delay that is enough for algorithms to pick out copywritten music, and then it pops up on your stream as a notification in your stream or whatever that, hey, you have copyright music going, you need to shut it off. I think that that's a very real possibility that we will...
So that's not what happens now. You're saying hypothetically that could be something that would happen.
Yes.
Okay.
In regard to Twitch and Amazon. That being said, Amazon in good faith should share that technology if they get it out. Because really that's in their benefit anyway, to share that technology with smaller streamers like Ustream or something. I mean, Ustream's still bigger, but it's small compared to like Twitch or YouTube.
Yeah.
And there are even smaller ones still. A lot of weird Russian ones too.
Weird Russian streaming sites?
Yeah.
Like cam sites?
No, just in general, just streaming sites. So the reason why it would be good for Amazon is that would kind of encourage consumers back to buying music in a really removed way, like really removed. But, you know, and it would, I don't know. I think that we need a really good look at copyright laws in regard to streaming.
Whenever I'm watching a show on Amazon Prime, anytime I pause it, it gives me a list of actors who are on screen or who are in the scenes.
Yeah.
And it also gives me a link to the song that is being played if it's like a montage.
Yeah.
That I can buy.
Yeah.
I don't know why they couldn't implement that for Twitch.
Yeah, I agree. YouTube, most of the time, you don't get a proper DMCA. You get a copyright claim, and what they say is your video now has the potential to be monetized for this publisher.
Yeah.
So they really don't hit you with DMCAs unless the content that you are providing is like racist, as an example, or hate speech. Then they might issue a DMCA because you're playing fucking Born to Be Wild in the background while you're spewing hate speech.
Yeah.
They're going to have a problem with that. So you might get a DMCA on that. Of course, the video will be taken down anyway because you're violating YouTube's terms of service. So Rem does know about those weird Russian streaming sites. Yeah.
Your eyes lit up right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
What can I say? Russian girls are hot.
They're weird.
And weird.
Hot and weird is a great combo.
Yeah, they can take a lot of pain. That's what happens when you live in Russia. All Russians are men. Like big, surly men. Even the tiny little girls.
You're a weird guy, Remington Hitchcock.
Big Russian men. You just hit them in the face. They don't care. They're Russian. Life is terrible there. I'm just making shit up.
Well, I don't, Russian listeners.
I don't actually hit women. Come on. Okay. Anymore. Not since Sean Connery got in all that trouble.
Yeah. Thanks for mucking it up for everybody, Sean.
Thanks for ruining it for everybody, Sean. Listen, every once in a while, a woman just needs a slap across the face.
Yeah, God, that interview is so awkward. If you haven't watched that interview, go out and search for Sean Connery, Barbara Walters interview.
Yeah.
It is so awkward because she asks him, she's like, you said these statements before. I know we've talked about this probably multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said these statements before years ago. How have your opinions changed? And he has a million things he could say in response.
Yeah.
But he just goes, my opinion on the matter has not changed. It's like, well, all right, Sean.
Yep. There you go. You old-fashioned bastard.
So speaking of algorithms and things that can go wrong.
Okay.
There's a new website. Anybody listening, I encourage you to go to this website right now because it's crazy. It's called thispersondoesnotexist.com.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
Uh-uh.
Will create the face of a person using the neural network GAN, which stands for Generative Adversarial Network.
Okay.
Yeah, switch it over so they can see that is not a real person.
Oh, really?
Yep. That is a face created by a neural network.
Okay, interesting. So if I refresh it, it'll give me another face?
Yep.
That person does not exist.
Nope. You can see kind of by the outline of their chin.
Yeah, like the cheek here doesn't match up entirely. Which, that could be anything, really. The eyes are, the pupil on this one is a little bit bigger, or the iris on this one is a little bigger than this one.
But yeah, isn't that fucking nuts?
That is nuts. At a cursory glance, it's...
Yeah, it just looks like a dude.
Yeah. The eyebrows are different, ears are different. So, if you really scrutinize it, you can tell that there's something amiss, but it is very eerie. Oh, I will take that baby. I will take it and I will eat it.
Mm-hmm.
See, that one, I don't know if it's like a young boy or an older girl with a short haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some young person looks and some older person looks in this. Some older wrinkles and such that don't make sense. That guy looks like he should be in a video game.
Yeah, he does.
He's like an ancillary character that immediately gets killed. But they give him just enough dialogue that you are upset that he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
NVIDIA added to the project by creating StyleGAN, the chip which pulls from the internet to create these new faces.
Okay. Huh.
And according to The Verge, it can also work with cartoons and fonts.
Huh.
So it could create entirely new cartoons, or it could create entirely new fonts, which I know is exciting for you.
That is exciting for me. That is really cool. I want to play with that.
You could have just your own randomly generated font.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And useful. But does it just create the font? Or does it create the TIFF file that is the font?
I would imagine if it works, they would make it where you could download it.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, the technology is there and it's crazy.
Androgens. That is crazy. So, real quick shout out to Epic, the people who made Fortnite.
Okay. They don't get enough love.
They get all the love.
Sarcastically.
Yeah. But they have Thimbleweed Park free right now on the Epic Game Store. So if you already have Fortnite and you want a point-and-click adventure, you're playing it on PC. Brandon, you said that you have it for Xbox, but it's a little more janky to play with an Xbox. Yeah,
it's a little hard to control. They made it as simple as they could. Yeah. So it's not overly complicated, but it's definitely not mouse and keyboard, which is what you really need.
Gotcha. I just downloaded it, but you can get it for free. So, if you already got the launcher on your computer, get it. It's a pretty small file. Looks like it's a lot of fun. It looks like it's a X-Files, or this PC Gamer article was comparing it to X-Files. Like it was an X-Files ripoff.
Yeah.
Like you have a male and female FBI character or something like that.
Yeah, you have a male and female FBI character who meet up in the town of Thimbleweed Park.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know each other when they first meet up.
Okay.
They show up there because of a murder. So they show up there for different reasons. I didn't get far enough, so I'm not spoiling anything. I didn't get far enough to find out what their reasons were.
Okay.
But they both have their own agendas for being there that you discover.
Gotcha.
And they're both fucking ridiculous agendas.
Fair enough.
From what I picked up from the hints that it started to drop, they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the town is just, it's a good game. I don't want to get into it and spoil really anything, but you have the two X-Files agents that you play.
Yeah.
You have a clown that cusses constantly that you play as.
Nice.
Who is stuck in his makeup.
Okay.
He can't take off his nose or his makeup or his hair because he insulted a gypsy who cursed him.
Oh, interesting.
And then you play as like a young, like probably 15-year-old girl, I would guess, 15 to 18-year-old girl who wants to be a coder, and she wants to code adventure games.
Huh. Interesting.
So it gets very meta.
Yeah. Continuing on with Epic News, though, Fortnite's Marshmallow Concert was the game's biggest event ever. So, for people who don't play Fortnite, Brandon.
Right.
Occasionally they will do like these events that'll happen as they progress the story of the game. The
I'm aware of those.
Okay. So they had released marshmallow themed skins, and apparently they had a marshmallow concert. Took the stage inside of Fortnite earlier this month. Fork Knife as some people call it. It wasn't just a glimpse of the future, it was also the biggest moment in Fortnite's history. According to developer Epic Games, 10.7 million people attended the concert, which tops the previous largest in-game event. Back in November, 8.3 million people witnessed the destruction of the strange purple cube. Fortnite recently had 2 record highs for peak concurrent players, the developers told The Verge in a statement. On February 2nd, Fortnite had its best event day ever with 10.7 million players to show up for the Marshmallow Concert. Additionally, this past weekend, Saturday, February 16th, the game saw its best non-event day ever with 7.6 million players in the game concurrently. It's also important to note that the 10.7 million numbers only include those who experienced the concert in-game. If you factor in those who watched it live, streamed on Twitch and other platforms, the number will definitely be much bigger, and the official recap of the event has nearly 27 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
So, Apex Legends came out, and it really put up some heavy numbers against Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's still really popular. People are still talking about it. They're enjoying the 3-team party.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really call it a squad. I mean, you can.
Yeah, you can call whatever you want a squad.
Yeah.
I'm drinking out of a squad.
Squad
goals. YOLO.
Anyway. Now I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, it stacks up really hard against Fortnite for Battle Royale that is sweeping,
Mm.
I heard somebody offhandedly mention that even Ninja has, which is one of the largest Twitch streamers out there, has moved away from Fortnite a bit to
Apex Legends,
yeah. Not spending as much time in the old cartoony battleground.
Yeah. Apex Legends is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't think it was out the last time we recorded.
No, we put up, we talked about the numbers that had gone up.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's been that long.
Yeah.
My life just all lumps together into a big ball of clay.
Yeah,
with
mine
no
too.
beginning or end.
I feel you. It's all cyclical.
Yeah.
Every day is like fucking Groundhog Day.
It really is.
Yeah. I either have school or I don't, and I don't know when that happens. So yeah, do you have any more?
Yeah, let me do one more story and then we got to wrap up because I got to go.
No, you don't, Brandon.
I do.
You don't have anything better to do. We could do a 12-hour episode and you would be just fine.
This is Twitch related.
Okay.
The Pokemon Company will be streaming episodes of the Pokemon TV show nonstop on Twitch.
Yes.
Starting on Pokemon Day, which is February 27th.
And they have done that actually recently this month or last month. I think they run Pokemon like once a month.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it will be going continuously from February 27th to May 5th.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Starting with the beginning with the original series, they're going to be playing the movies on there as well.
Yeah.
And that coincides with Pokemon Day, where a bunch of Pokemon-related stuff is going to be happening. Like GameStop is going to be having a game day where you can come and play your decks.
Yeah.
Trade and play.
Yeah. The only real battle royale is Tetris 99. Change my mind. We don't talk like that here.
I haven't watched Tetris 99, so I'm not familiar with it. I
Yeah,
know that it
neither
was a
have I.
new thing that came out that a lot of people are talking about. I don't really know it.
Yeah, I haven't really checked it out much either. Or at all, rather.
I'm
Not
guessing
much,
it's
but not at
you
all.
and 98 other people playing Tetris,
Yeah,
and then
Maybe.
one person wins.
I guess. I don't know. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Basing it solely on the title.
And the fact that I've seen people referring to it as a battle royale.
Yeah. So if that's going to be your last story, I'm going to get to the one where we actually named the episode after.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done that. Sometimes that happens where I'll name an episode something and we didn't talk about that story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A black thumb-sized missile sails through the jungle air. A thunderous buzzing announces its arrival. The massive insect lands heavily on a tree-bound termite nest, taking a moment to fold its brassy wings and stretch its humongous curved jaws. This is Wallace's giant bee, the beefiest and bumbliest bee on Earth. After going missing for nearly 4 decades, the species has just been rediscovered in its native Indonesia.
Ooh.
Wallace's giant bee, or Megachile Pluto, gets its name from its original discoverer, Alfred Russel Wallace, the British national.
I was going to guess he was British before you even said it.
Alfred Russel Wallace. I do declare, that's very good. The largest bee I've ever seen. Wingspan, massive. The British naturalist, famous for independently conceiving the theory of evolution through natural selection alongside Charles Darwin.
Ooh.
So he's got a little providence.
So we are uncultured for not recognizing his name, I'm sure.
Yeah. Wallace collected the bee while on an expedition in Indonesia's north. I'm probably going to butcher this one. It's not super complicated, but I don't know how to say it. Moluccas, Moluccas.
Okay.
Moluccas. North Moluccas Islands in 1858, describing it as a large black wasp-like insect with immense jaws like a stag beetle. So let me pull up the article for other people to look at here. So as you can see on the screen, there is your standard bumblebee right next to it. It is about the size of 4 bumblebees head to tail.
That thing is massive.
Yes. And if you look really close, you can see the pincers, the mandibles on the front.
I can totally see them.
Almost reminiscent of like you said, a stag beetle or the bigger black ants.
Yeah.
That have the huge pincers on them. This tiny titan then went more than a century without being spotted by Western scientists, only seen again by entomologist Adam Messer in 1981, who was able to observe some of its behavior on a number of small islands. But since then, no one has documented any encounters with the huge bee. That all changed when a search team visited the North Moluccas last month, laid eyes on the bee for the first time in 38 years. The rediscovery comes after years of hard work and planning, according to Clay Bolt, the nature photographer that documented the giant bee last month. So this literally just happened last month.
Okay.
Several years ago, Bolt was visiting the bee collections at the American Museum of Natural History, familiarizing himself with North America's own native bees for a project documenting the underappreciated insects. Of course, for those of you who don't know, we have seen a huge decline in bee population.
Yeah.
Which is a huge problem for us as for all living things.
Yeah, things are starting to get pretty dire.
Yeah. Bees are the primary organism that spreads pollen for plants to reproduce.
Yes.
And if there isn't anything seeding the pollen, plants die off and we die off as well.
Mm.
So, in fact, you can go to some farms where there are people who go out and fertilize and pollinate plants themselves because there is a lack of the bee population. So in order to keep the needs going, you'll see people out pollinating. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Eli Weimer, an entomologist at the museum, showed Bolt a remarkable rare specimen of Wallace's giant bee and shared his desire to see the insect in the wild. Together, the two hatched a plan to travel to Indonesia to find the bee. We weren't exactly sure how we were going to pull it off, Bolt told Earther, which is the site that this is on. Link will be down in the video and show notes. There was little information about the bee's natural history, so finding suitable habitats in which to search was difficult. In the middle of this planning, Bolt successfully pushed to get the giant bee a 25 Most Wanted spot on Global Wildlife Conservation's Search for Lost Species program. So there's a program where they will pay you to go on expeditions to look for a lost species.
That's pretty awesome.
Which seeks to fund expeditions to find species that have gone MIA. When Bolt and Wyman saw that a mysterious giant bee specimen had sold for $9,000 on eBay in early 2018, they were met with a new sense of urgency to find the rare bee. We decided that we had to go there, Bolt said. Number one, to see it in the wild, to document it, but also to make local contacts in Indonesia that could begin to work with us as partners to try and figure out how to protect the bee. So there's a lot more to this story. It's a pretty interesting read if you either like insects or like species that are going extinct and like to read about that sort of thing. Like I said, I'll link the URL in the descriptions. So yeah, but what are your thoughts on this neat little bee? Not so little bee.
I'm interested in reading the rest of this story.
Yeah?
You've got me hooked with it. I want to go home and read the rest of it.
Okay.
I also want to say that I want to find something in my life that I can love as much as these two guys love this bee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something that I can get that excited for.
Yeah.
That they're like, we're going to plan an expedition all about going and finding this bee.
Well, I mean, the one guy's an entomologist.
Well, yeah,
so, like,
I know that it's his job, but he's still...
Well, yeah, but you don't become an entomologist because it's a job. You become an entomologist because that's your passion.
Mm-hmm.
So this dude likes bugs. Bugs are his bread and butter.
Yeah.
So that's what you get with that
Bread
college
and butter.
education.
Yeah.
Is that passion for things. Which is unfortunate why I couldn't go into communications instead. But business is all right. I don't mind it.
Yeah. It can lead to communications.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What would you go back to college for if you were to go? Because you originally went for art, primarily. Would you still go for art? Or would you start to explore different things? Because
I would explore different things because I don't have a passion. I don't have like a thing that I'm particularly drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just kind of dick about. I think I would become a professional college student for a while.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, but anyway, sorry, got a little off topic there. That's my bee story. Couple of points. 4 times the size of a honeybee, Wallace's giant bee is a sight to behold, and more than deserving of the name Messer gave the species in the 80s, Raja Ofu, which means the king of bees. While the long jaws are unnerving, they aren't for nipping, instead being used to transport globs of resin back to the nest. It also makes its nest in the large termite hills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and it uses the resin from surrounding trees, I guess, to block off a section for it to live. That way the termites don't bother it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So really cool little species. Hope to see more about it. It's also, it doesn't create a hive. It's more like a large wasp or something that doesn't have, a colony. It's just it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's a loner.
Actually, since we're still on this picture, so here is...
Holy Christ.
A picture of it inside. This is the live bee that was captured. So they did find one.
Yeah.
Here's a shot of them at the termite nest where it made its home.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
It really puts into perspective when you see a guy holding it.
Yeah. I mean, it's as big as... Well, really, his finger.
Yeah.
And then some. Okay. We did not talk about Nintendo's Reggie Fils-Aime retiring. He is retiring from Nintendo.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm. You know who Reggie is, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. He is the American...
Nintendo of America.
Yeah, the COO or CEO.
I'm not sure what his title is.
Yeah.
He's like a staple, though.
Yeah, he is. I had a couple of movie newses as well. Her Smell, which is Elizabeth Moss. Did you watch Mad Men?
No.
Okay. Yes, Bowser is taking over. Anyway, she was one of the secondary stars in Mad Men, who played a huge part. I think she was one of the secretaries that played a part through the whole series.
Okay.
And she is doing a movie called Her Smell. She stars as a troubled punk rocker.
Ooh. So
it's like an all-female punk rock band, and it goes through the trial and tribulations of like drug abuse and, losing your stardom and rising to stardom, etc. and so on. Chris Pratt is in a Billy the Kid movie called The Kid. He's actually not playing a funny character at all. So it's definitely more of I think he's playing an abusive uncle.
So he's kind of stretching his acting chops.
Yeah, a little bit. So don't really have a whole lot to talk about aside from just the trailers looked really cool. It is the Chris Pratt one is a Western.
Yeah.
And I have really kind of grown to love Westerns.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had to watch a lot of Westerns when I was working in the mental health care field. with my clients. So
yeah.
So you tend, if you pretty much have to watch it, you tend to learn to appreciate it.
It's either adapt or die.
Yeah, adapt or sit there and suffer, and that's not fair to him.
Yeah.
So you can whine or you can take it from him, and then that's not fair to him either because it's his place, right? So you have to watch what he wants to watch, not what you want to watch.
Which is mostly Westerns.
Yep. Mostly Westerns or listen to country music.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, at least it was the old stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't all the new garbage that they have. I mean, we're talking like Willie and Waylon and all of those older fellas who really made country music the genre that it was.
Yeah, I can handle them.
Yeah. So that wraps us up. We did have a phone call from Mumphrey, who was in chat just a little bit ago. See if I can get that pulled up.
Oh, he's president. Apparently Reggie is president of Nintendo of America is his title.
Remington, this is Mumphrey999 or Negulary. You mentioned your item, you have to give an item report, I think this coming Monday. You were talking about going to bring in a microphone and do it on podcasting. That's a great and very accurate portrayal of you, I think. But you should also bring a backup item like a butt plug, just so you can set them both down on the podium or the table, then look to the professor and see which one would you like me to discuss, just to see what happens. But, hey, anyway, congratulations on getting back into the swing of things. I know it is hard, but coursework is awesome, and kudos, and I love you, man, and did not catch the live Twitch thing, so I don't know how your crotches look this week, but keep at it.
Well, thank you, Mumphrey/Negulary,
for talking about my butt plug.
It's about time somebody brings it up.
Yeah.
You have a problem.
I do know there is no problem with it, sir.
There's no problem with it. There's a problem with them. You own too many.
I mean, it's not like they're all used. Some of them are just collector's items.
You're telling me you want me to get rid of my Revenge of the Sith limited edition
butt
plug?
Yes.
You can get out of here, sir.
Thank you, Negulary, for calling in. I much appreciate it. We don't get very many calls. If you want to call, you can call us at 978-DU-OGRES. That's 978-386-4737. You can also leave us a comment on Twitter or Facebook like these nice people, Brandon.
We had 2 comments this week. First comment was from the Diamond Man, Stephen Hines, who says, I'm glad that you're loving being back in college, Rem. I honestly miss taking challenging literature classes that force me to really dig in and analyze great books.
I'm sorry. I had to stop you. Is it because you said college? Okay. Brandon, I thought you had stopped drinking.
Back in college.
Back in college.
I honestly miss taking challenging literature classes that force me to really dig in and analyze great books. When I'm a senior citizen, I'm totally taking some free classes. Refrigerating sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. However, a friend of mine started dating a lady and she insisted on him texting her a pic of his to-read pile. When he did, she said, I don't know if I want to date a guy who's reading a book called The Soccer Mom Killer, which, for those listening, is a book that the Diamond Man Stephen Hines wrote.
Yes.
Sigh, I'm so proud of that. My wife and I can't wait for the new Bill and Ted. We saw the first one when we were dating.
Yeah.
Rock on. The other comment is from
Stallions.
Wild Stallions Rule is from Viscount Terry W. Irvin II, who says, Remington, it is sad that what young adults won't do to be successful, like reading and signing a form for class.
Yeah.
I see it all too often, and those folks grow into full-fledged adults. Brandon, all I have to say for your participation in the podcast today, thumbs up.
Yep.
Winky face.
Yep. You did a good job at being present.
I appreciate it.
I guess. I don't remember what we talked about or if it was apparent that...
I think it was a reference to something we talked about in our group chat.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Doug Bowser will now be president? That was a story I saw you had up that we didn't see. Are people joking that Bowser is going to become the new president now? Is that like the thing?
Yeah. I think there was one I think there was one article or something, or maybe when they did the press release, it was like Bowser's taking over.
Oh, okay.
Bowser's taking over the castle or something like that. I didn't get to actually read it.
Nintendo is so just dumbly genuine.
Yeah. Make sure to subscribe on our website, duelingogres.com, for news, shows, and articles pertaining to some of your favorite geek news. I left my mouse over there.
His real name is Doug Bowser? That's not true. There's no way that's true.
No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all, Meaty. And finally, be sure to hit us up on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, really anywhere you can find a podcast. Any of your podcatcher apps will find us as well. Just type in Dueling Ogres into the search. Or, and more importantly, leave us a 5-star review on that sweet, sweet iTunes, because it helps to boost us higher on the Cool Kids list.
That gets us seen more everywhere.
Yes. It gets us seen really more than anything out there. Head on over to iTunes if you have it. Yeah, it's still the most popular phone in the world.
If you do, Remington will kiss you on your mouth. On and about your mouth.
And if you don't, Remington will kiss you on and about your mouth. If you're not all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that sufficiently weird?
I think it was weird enough.
Do you think people will go and do it?
No. Nobody's done it so far. I don't think they will.
So until next week, Ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good night.
Oh, that's the new president's name.
Oh, really?
It's Doug Bowser. That's what they mean by Bowser's taking over.
So the new president's name is Doug Bowser.
Yeah.
Literally Doug Bowser.
Literally Doug Bowser, yes.
Okay. Funny.
Yeah.
Funny. You feel like they did that on purpose?
Yeah. They waited to rise him up through the ranks.
Like the Japanese guys were just all like, yes, yes.
We will wait. Patient as a mantis on the lotus.
There is Christmas music, probably because that's just the next thing that was in the queue. I just grabbed a playlist of copyright-free music. So if it's Christmassy, whatever. I don't care.
Merry Christmas.
It is what it is.
You fucker.
It's true.
I meant to say something, too. I meant to be like, did you start the recording? But I totally forgot.
Good job, Brandon.
Because I was too busy waiting for us to start this goddamn podcast.
Goddamn burgers.
Do you think we cuss more than normal?
How do you mean?
More than the average person does? I feel like we have conversational cussing. We don't like over the top. I'm not like fuckity fuck all the time.
Yeah. No, we don't usually say that. No. I would say that we have pretty standard cussing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just adequate.
Yeah. Just an adequate amount of cussing.
Just enough for a passerby to be like, oh, did he just say fuck?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, maybe I just heard differently. That's the rest of my stories. We don't need that.
What's happening?
The intro video is still turned on. Oops. Professional.
Can you turn off the show starting soon?
No.
So people don't think that what we're doing is pre-show?
Don't tell me how to run my show, Brandon.
It's our show.
Oh, yeah. That got weird.
Yeah, it did.
I'm really burpy today.
Yeah, seriously. What's going on with you?
I don't know. I think I'm exploding. Hello, Fluffy, and hello, Beardy. How's it going, guys?
Fluffy and Beardy?
Fluffy and Beardy.
It sounds like a cop drama. Fluffy and Beardy.
Coming this fall to ABC or to CNBC. No, to CBS. Because they're the ones who always have the cop dramas.
God damn it, Beardy.
I'm sorry, Fluffy.
Beardy would be the one always like slipping drugs on people. Beardy would be the bad cop.
Yeah.
Fluffy would be the by the numbers cop.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think Beardy would be clean shaven. And Fluffy would have the beard.
Like the scruffy,
Yeah.
like disheveled beard, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like the grizzled cop, but he runs by the numbers.
Mm.
Interesting. Kind of switching up the roles.
Why is he called Beardy if he doesn't have a beard, though?
See, that's the irony of it.
Oh, because he's always very clean shaven.
Yeah. Well, you never see a hair on his face. It's like he had, what is that? Not dialysis.
Laser analysis.
Yes. There you go. You got it.
Electrolysis.
Electrolysis, yeah.
Dialysis. So Fluffy and Beardy, I don't know if you guys know each other, but if you don't, get on this.
Well, they're part of the Lurk Squad.
Okay, so go ahead and get on this. We'll produce it for you.
Yeah. I know. He has quite the beard.
Oh, really?
Hence the name Bearded Bear.
Oh.
Come on,
Fluffy
Brandon.
and the Bearded Bear. Oh. Damn it, Beardy. Oh.
Throws him a salmon.
He's still planting drugs on people, though. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And yes, Bearded Bear, we do mean tubs of honey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is bear. Everybody knows tubs of honey is bear drugs.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh was lit
that's all
constantly.
articles. I don't want all articles, for sure.
Let's just make this an all article podcast.
What?
Nothing.
Are you laughing at me?
Yeah.
Good. Bear drugs.
To catch you up.
Meaty, I don't know what to tell you. On my meter, I'm almost hitting red. So I haven't seen anybody else tell me it's quiet.
Maybe just start screaming.
Yeah.
Mine is fine. Yours is quiet, apparently.
That doesn't even make sense. Like, literally doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Am I pointing the right way? Yeah, I'm pointing the right way. Meaty, you're drunk. They're going through the same mixer. They're set to the same settings. I'm closer to it than he is. He's drunk.
You're going to find something when you edit, too.
No,
when you go
fine.
to edit, you're going to be like, oh, shit.
No, it'll be
I
fine.
missed this thing.
Everything will be fine. Now he's got me self-conscious. Thanks for ruining everything. Podcast over. All right, well, I turned mine up a little bit, so maybe that's better. Maybe you were just listening as I was turning my head away. I don't know.
Was your audio weird?
No, because it's all going through the same thing. So it would be, the only difference would be the mics themselves, because they're all going through the same thing, and all the settings were the same. So they're the two lines stop at the mixing board, and it becomes one line.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe
So I don't
just have a better voice than you.
It's higher.
Is it?
Yeah, your voice is slightly higher than mine.
I disagree.
I have a lot more bass in my voice than you do.
Mm.
I do.
Mm.
I do.
No.
You talk at the top of your mouth.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. So you kind of sound like this.
I don't sound like that.
You kind of sound like this.
I do not sound like that.
You don't sound like this.
I
Of
don't
course,
sound
neither
like
do
that.
I. But yeah, no, you spin more air in the top.
Yeah, I know.
So, and I spin more air down in this region.
Because you were a singer.
Yeah.
You learned to project.
Yeah.
I could talk like that too.
You could.
I
See?
could talk like this all of the time.
You could.
Hello, everybody. My name's Brandon.
Yeah. See?
It's nice to meet you.
You should.
Welcome to Dueling Ogres.
You should learn to talk like that.
I don't like this voice, though.
Why not?
Because it sounds weird.
Well, yeah, when you put emphasis on it like that.
Now I do kind of want to talk like that.
Talk like that all the time, Brandon.
I just want to practice my transcontinental accent?
Yes.
Transcontinental accent.
Transatlantic. Transatlantic accent. It's not quite British, but it's not quite American.
Could you take me seriously if I spent time practicing to where I talked like that all the time?
Yes.
You could?
Yes. Because I know that you would put work and effort into sounding like that.
Yeah.
Like, would it be weird? Yes.
It would be weird?
But I would respect you.
You'd respect me, you say, huh?
Yeah, I would. Mumphrey, thank you for the 200 biddies. I'm going to fill up my little cup.
Does it actually fill up image-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it drops the little biddies in the cup. You can't really see it right now, but...
Bitty, bitty, bit.
Bitty, bitty, bitty.
Oh, we have space behind us right now.
See? There they are. Little tiny bitties in the bottom of the cup. Yep. Bit by bit. Yep. And as it fills up, I was showing Brandon this before we actually started, but I was fooling with making my own tip jar. And so that's what that is right here. Is there's a little Dueling Ogres. It's what was it? A
whiskey glass.
A whiskey.
You said?
Yeah, it was
like
a whiskey.
Tumbler.
Yeah, like a whiskey glass. But I superimposed the Dueling Ogres logo, so it looks like it's laser etched onto it. So really subtle, kind of hard to see, but I wanted it to be realistic as well. So yeah. The world's biggest bee once thought yeah, if we're gonna hit it.
I said hold on.
I didn't hear you. Apparently it's insane. Does it still have the Russian national anthem? Bee bee dee dee bee dee dee bee dee bee bee dee bee bee dee bee 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 dee bee bee dee dee bee dee bee dee dee bee dee 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 dee. All right, so back to the bee story.
The B side of this podcast.
I like it.
Yeah,
that wasn't bad.
Thank you.
Yeah, call back to old forms of technology.
Mm-hmm.
You have to turn a record or listen to the B side of a cassette tape.
Remember those kids?
Yeah. No, you don't. Super fast when you're in the top 50, then 10. It's really hard when people decide to attack you. So you can attack other people? That's weird. Interesting. I'll have to go check it out. If I went missing for 4 decades, no one would bother rediscovering me. Oh, meaty. I would wonder what happened to you for sure.
You'd be called Wallace's Remington's Meaty.
But I also know the relationship that you and Mrs. Meaty have, and I would just assume that she killed you. That she finally got tired of your shit and murdered you.
You never started the recording.
Oh, shit. Fuck. That's all right. I'll start it now.
You fucker.
It's true.
I meant to say something, too. I meant to be like, did you start the recording? But I totally forgot.
Good job, Brandon.
Because I was too busy waiting for us to start this goddamn podcast.
Goddamn burgers. Oh, thank you for the biddies, Grader.